Start the recording. I was answering emails in the meantime, right there. And since this is being recorded, some things are on here I include that may not apply to those listening live, but others listen to the recording, so hopefully we get full communications on. First one is, it is registration continuing for spring semester. If you haven't registered for spring, please get in touch with me or your advisor to register for spring if you're going to be coming spring. If you're not coming spring, I assume you're graduating this semester. And if that's the case, then hopefully before this point that you've already applied for graduation. You do have to apply for graduation to be able to get your papers that you earn. That was a surprise to me when I was in college also, because I thought they could figure that one out automatically when you qualified, but they don't. So you have to apply. They then double check to make sure you meet all the requirements, and then they order the pieces of paper, and then they will send them to you. Now, when you apply for graduation, you can also apply to walk in graduation. That does cost money. Just graduating does not cost anything additional, that they give you the papers for free. But walking graduation does cost money. Fall semester, it is in Dalton in December on the 9th, I believe it is. But don't hold me on that date right there, because I know it's Thursday, but I don't remember right off the bat which Thursday it is. I'm inclined to think it's the 2nd. And it is going to be indoors, back to a traditional graduation ceremony. This semester is the plan. However, they're going to do 2 graduations, not 1. And so it won't be in the evening. They're going to have them in the afternoon. Ours will be at 12 o'clock noon, and that'll cover business, computers, and I believe public service. And then at 4 o'clock, they'll have another graduation that will cover the trade and industrial and technical areas and health occupations, if I'm remembering correctly on the breakdown. So I believe health goes with them. The only thing in ours is business, computers, and public service, which is things like criminal justice and that. If you were planning to walk in December, you need to contact Missy McLean at graduation@gntc.edu immediately. It may be too late to walk at this point. I'm not sure when her cutoff is. If you're graduating, if you're just getting the papers, you still need to get it in as soon as possible so that yours will go in on the order and they'll be able to mail it to you immediately after the semester ends. If you will be finishing in the spring, in the beginning of May, then you need to be applying for graduation also. That way they can double check as you register that you are meeting all the requirements and not short a course. Occasionally people run into that, and that has been a problem forever. Because I remember when I graduated from college, there was a couple of people got pulled from line that day, that they had not done some course and they were short courses. And so they didn't get to graduate. So it's definitely helpful to apply the semester before, which is what you're recommended to do. And then they can look through, tell you if everything looks, if any problems are there, and if so, we still have time to straighten it out and get you into the correct courses for the next semester. So do be applying for spring if you're planning to graduate in May. So that's that stuff. Next week, we will have these sessions on Wednesday, not Tuesday. I have all-day training with Leadership Walker next Tuesday. It's the same thing that was last month and the month before. They have it on the 2nd Tuesday of the month that we have all-day training. And so I will be out on tours on next Tuesday in our area. I believe we're going through items up in the Rossville area, through some places up there to see what all's in Rossville and what Rossville is trying to do to build their image up and get the community thriving. So that will be a full day for me on that. Besides that, that evening I got to go to Copper Hill, Tennessee, which is over an hour from here, for the Copper Hill Kiwanis 100th anniversary dinner that they have invited me to. So I will have a full day next Tuesday. So we will have these sessions on Wednesday next week. Then, and I'm going to try to go ahead and put those dates in today, so that it shows on there for you that it is on Wednesday next week. I was all caught up on grading through the end of last week, actually through yesterday, on everything that had been due a week ago or before. Items that were due last night, I have not graded yet, so discussion for last week, and items that were due yesterday have not been graded yet. I'm hoping to work on those on a couple of these little breaks this morning, as I was answering emails and doing a few other things first thing this morning. And so I'll work on that after this. We're continuing in chapter 9 this week for our second week in the chapter. If I read the calendar right, so let me look at the calendar real quick. And yes, it is. So you're still on chapter 9 for another week, and those are due next Monday. And that was looking at high availability with advanced failover and virtual machines. Well, obviously you got experience with virtual machines already because you've been using them all semester. I posted an extra item out there in announcements yesterday that in this class I'm taking on CASP Plus, which is CompTIA Advanced Server Practitioner certification, their train the trainer class, that they're talking about using GNS3, which is a network program out there that you can set up networks inside your computer and computers inside it. So it's a virtual network program. If you've used Packet Tracer, it's similar to Packet Tracer, except Packet Tracer simulations, not actual equipment. GNS3 actually is setting up virtual equipment in your computer, like VirtualBox. And actually it uses VirtualBox as part of it. So they mentioned to us about how to change to allow virtualization within your virtual machines in VirtualBox, and gave us a command that they said would work. I tried it on my machine and it worked. Now, I don't know if it will work for the rest of y'all or not, but I would appreciate people trying that command if they could not turn on virtualization in VirtualBox, and see if it works. And if it does, let me know, because I'll start telling future classes to use that command when they're first setting up at the beginning of the semester. And that would get us around where we had the problem with the server virtual, whatever, the virtual machines that we were building on top of the virtual machines. That would help us get around that one. So be aware of that one's been added out there. So now, questions for me or comments? Okay, seeing no questions or comments, I'm going to tell y'all to have a good week, have a good day. Okay, waiting for the rest of your question. Apparently you hit enter too quick. Yes. Well, yes and no. Me sending them to you, um, that gets a little trickier on me. I need to try to build a file out here of emails that want to have those sent to them. But the other part is anything I get, I also refer them. I also send the information to the job placement coordinator, Matt Bryant, and he has a job placement board on the website for the school that you can definitely keep on using after you graduate. And that you can also, I think he maintains a mailing list also, and that he will let you know about relevant ones, but I'm not for sure on that. And the other part is he just started doing that job a few months ago, so what he may have changed on how he's doing it, I'm not exactly sure, but I know the job postings board will just definitely still there and will stay there. But how he may additionally communicate, I don't know. I know the previous one would send out to people that had asked to be put on a mailing list for them. But I'm not sure if Matt will be doing that or not. But sometimes I do send out to students from the previous semester because I can get to those emails easily. But beyond that, I don't have a very good way to do that at the moment, but I may start building a list out there that I can keep that on, and I'll consider that on a possibility to do. Any other questions? All right, seeing as we have done, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And again, tell you to have a good week. See you next Wednesday for this class, not Tuesday next week, that we're delaying one day. And that some people I'll see on through today because they're taking multiple classes of mine.